Hey garden friends, welcome on back to Flower Patch. Today we are going to talk about geraniums. Zonal geraniums that you buy at the nursery versus seed-grown geraniums. Did you know there's a difference? I didn't until a couple of years ago, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So, I think I'm going to start a new program called Question of the Day. And today's question is for you. Have you grown geraniums from seed? And if you did, what was your favorite variety? I'd really like to know. So put your answer down in the comment section below. So first up, I need to say, is that seed-grown geraniums like these that I have here are a form of zonal geranium. They are a zonal geranium, but to make the differentiation for you, they're not the same as zonal geraniums marketed in nurseries and garden centers. I have to stop here a minute, I'm going to sneeze. And that was news to me. Someone corrected me I'm sorry, I just saw a big fat spider over there. That was news to me, and because I had said how to start zonal geraniums from seed, and then people were noticing that how do I get mine to be like the ones at the nursery? And so I deep dived into some research, and there's a difference. There is a difference. Now, let's talk about, first of all, seed-grown geraniums and their benefits and attributes. Now, the one thing that I enjoy about growing from seed, other than the satisfaction of seeing something come from a little tiny seed and watching it grow, is that the varieties. There are real short growing ones. They're called dwarf. Oh, what was it? I can't remember exactly, but I can link to some seed sources. I love Swallowtail Garden Seeds. I just bought some more seeds from Fast Seeds. I'll link it. I will. Anyways, so you can get some real short ones that top out at 10 to 12 inches, or you can get taller ones that are around 18 to 24 inches. So there's the sizes and the vast array of colors. There's a lot of colors out there that you can acquire. And then if you collect your own seeds from the plants, they won't come true to the parent all the time, especially if you have other geraniums growing in your garden, because they cross-pollinate. But you will get some very interesting ones. Now let me bring this one up close to you. Now this is crossed between white and pink and a fuchsia. And can you see that? Hopefully it's showing up for you. That is this is one grown from seeds I collected off of a white geranium that I had grown, and so far I have not gotten pure white of any of the seeds I picked up. This one you can see it's just more of an apple blossom. There's no splotches or anything, but it is just really pretty pink and white. So that is one of the attributes, is all the different sizes and colors you can get and varieties that you may not see in your garden center. Another one is it's so budget friendly. It saves so much money. A packet of seeds of the specialty varieties that I've grown is around $3 to $5. I just bought some more today. They were on sale and they were $3 for 10 seeds. I have had 100% success in germination in when growing geraniums. So even if you only had 80 or whatever, you could see how cost savings it could be. Now this one I just purchased at a garden center, and I can't remember what I spent on it, but it was more than $8, or at least around $8. And I got it because I wanted to do this video, and because I wanted to test out through the season the differences between all of my seed grown and the nursery bought. So that's the attributes and benefits of the seed grown. That's, like I said, it's just a lot of fun because they're super easy to grow for beginners. And once you get to growing things from seed, it can be addictive. and you'll see what else you can try. I thought petunias were hard to grow from seed, and when I started growing them from seed, I just had a ball. And by the way, if you saw my video where I went to Lowe's and I got some bargain petunias, I went back. I did. The bargain rack was filled. I got these purple ones. I got some more pink ones. Yeah, I'm going to have baskets filled because they were marked down, the 6-pack for $7, and that's cheap. That's about comparable to my seed grown ones. So I had a ball. I also bought some other things. I bought some more lavender, Spanish lavender over here. This one, I did the search, and there was 2 in one pot, and I divided them. And so I got 2 plants for the price of 1. All right, so we have talked about the attributes of seed-grown geraniums. So let's go on to the zonal geraniums. Now, I probably already pointed this out, but I want to make sure I do so again. I do have blog posts of videos on how to grow geraniums from seed. I also have one on how to collect seed. I think that's in my blog post, how to collect the seed so you can grow more from your own geraniums. And what's kind of fun about that is you never know what color you're going to get. Like this one was a super fun one for me with all the splotches. I really enjoyed that one. And these are really pelargoniums. They're not true geraniums, like the hardy geraniums that I have shared before. It's only in the U.S. that they have gotten this name of geraniums rather than calling pelargoniums. In the U.K., they're pelargoniums. So just to make sure I clear that up. Here's just a fun little addendum. See this down in here? That's where seeds fell down into, can you see? That's where a seed fell down into the pot and it sprouted, came right up. So there's another one. I'm curious to see what this one will be, if it'll be just like this or different. But isn't that fun? That's another fun thing about seed-grown geraniums. You get more from seed, and they might just reseed themselves, making it even easier. So let's talk about the zonal geraniums. Now this is not a great example of what is classified as zonal geraniums. Now I'm going to break off this leaf. Well, maybe I won't. But right here, now it was termed zonal geraniums because of the different markings on the leaves. It's like a zone. But let me see this one. I'll take this one off. This one has it too. So you can see why they're both, the seed and the nursery grown, are both called zonal geraniums. And some of them have red on them, on the leaf, the distinctive markings. But these zonal geraniums you get from the nursery are genetically enhanced to grow stockier stems. I want to show you the difference between the flower stems. Can you see the difference from back there? I'll zoom in. But anyways, you see this one's longer and skinnier, and this one's short and chunky. And even the leaves of the zonal ones are more leathery. So that makes them supposedly a bit tougher to pest attack and disease against it. And then also the flower heads are more domed, as supposedly. You know, these ones, you can see how they're flatter and the stems are more upright. That's why I wanted to compare myself to really see if there was that big of a difference. I have grown seed geraniums for the last few years. I've not bought zonal geraniums from the garden center. That's why I wanted to buy some, and I'll probably buy some more. I want to really do a comparison, and I'll update you what I find. But zonal geraniums are only propagated by cuttings, and that was what makes them more expensive than seed grown. And unless you take your own cuttings, which is entirely possible to do, and I have a video on how I do that as well as a blog post. I'll link both in the description box. So blooming. The one other difference is the blooms on the seed grown don't stay on the plant as long as the zonal geraniums. These will hold their flowers longer, but they don't bloom as often as the seed grown. But when you compare the two, they will have blooms about the same amount of time, just because these rebloom quickly. These take a little bit longer once you deadhead them to rebloom. But since this one holds longer and that one shatters easier, you see why I say that. So that's the difference there. So what should you choose? Well, if you're not into starting seeds, then go right ahead and buy a zonal geranium. I think the one place I enjoy shopping at Green Acres, I think they have the gallon size. The last time I looked, they had them for $9. Or I shouldn't say that these aren't really a gallon. Some people would call these gallon cans, and when I was at Lowe's the other day, they called these 2-quart. So I don't know. Maybe that is. Maybe where's that other? Yeah. So yeah, this is the same as that one. Yeah, this was considered a 2-quart. So I've always called that a gallon can. I don't know. Anyways, so and this is a 1-quart size, and I got this one when I went on my trip down to Cambria and stuff. That's where I got that one. I just wanted that color. I wanted to get a keepsake. And to propagate this, I can go ahead and take cuttings for myself and perpetuate this. And if you go with the zonal geraniums that do not propagate by seed, you can overwinter them indoors on a bright windowsill in your home through the winter, and they will bloom. These have been indoors in my Primrose Cottage, my studio, and they're just blooming away and have been blooming. You just give them as bright a light in the winter as you can, because they don't need a certain day length to bloom. They just need the right temperature and, of course, water. Now, I wanted to share with you that in caring for geraniums, you may not know that they have what's called a heat something. What is it called? I put it in my blog post, and I will link that. Anyways, it's where if it gets over 90 degrees and they're in direct sun, they'll stop blooming. So in those cases, you might want to move your pots into where they get afternoon shade, because unless it's too big of a pot or you have them in your garden, then just wait till it cools down. They'll start reblooming again. But seed-grown geraniums, there's a variety called Maverick, and I think there's a few others, which I will, I have in my blog post, which I'll link, I said before, the names. They are heat tolerant, so they can keep on blooming during heat spells. Now that's particularly important for like southern gardeners, etc., because they will experience those high heat temps. Now we get cooled down at night, and then there's some days we can get to 90s, but that used to be rare. Last year we had quite a few, but it was later in the season. Yeah, so just know that if they've stopped blooming, it might be too hot for them. And if you just move where your pots can get some afternoon shade, that may fix the problem. So all that being said, what are you going to go with? Are you going to try seed-grown geraniums, or are you going to stick with the beautiful zonal geraniums? These come in a wide variety of colors too. I do want to get some white ones, and so I'm either going to get seeds to grow some white, because I loved the white one I had, or I'm going to buy some just to have the white. I don't know why I'm a sucker for white. Now, I did order seeds for the Maverick series, the orange. I want an orange one so bad, and these are just like the most tangerine orange you can enjoy. So that, my friends, is all about zonal versus seed geraniums. Let me know if you knew there was a difference. I don't. It was total news to me, because I've always called just these type of geranium with the round leaves zonal geraniums. I did want to mention there are another type of geranium, which is ivy geranium, and usually it's because they have an ivy-shaped leaf. But I bought this ivy geranium. No, that's not it. And you will notice that these are rounded leaves, just like the zonal, and they have the marking. Look at the marking on there. That's the one I was talking about, our darker center. And I thought, well, that's strange, because I have grown ivy geraniums. Now, ivy geraniums typically cannot handle as much heat as the zonal geraniums. But then I was reading, as always, that they have crossbred zonals with the ivy geraniums. And I think that's what this one is. Even though it says it's an ivy geranium, with the rounded leaves, etc., I'm thinking this may be one of those interbred ones. So let me read this. Lower flowers, butter border, blooms, how to grow. Plant in sun or part shade. Grows 8 to 10 inches tall. So usually the ivy geraniums, they'll get massive and just, they'll drape so far. If you've seen the, especially like window boxes in Europe, they just, so that must be the other ivy geraniums, which I've grown and loved. And I usually put them in hanging baskets along my side porch, which gets a lot more shade, especially in the afternoon. So they do well there. So that, my friends, I wanted to just stick that little tidbit in there because, yeah, that one took me by surprise. I didn't know they had crossbred them. And I had wondered when I bought that why the leaves were round and rather than ivy shaped. And that is probably it. I'll have to look up that particular variety and do a little more research. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Come on back for my next video. I'm coming up. I'm going to share about, I went back to Lowe's. I took you on my trip the one time, and I went back. I ran in really quick because I wanted to see about getting a couple more of the lavenders. I wanted to do a couple more topiaries, and they had these plants, was in this size, 2 for $12. So normally these were $10. So it was almost half off. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple more. I examined the plants, made sure there was 2 in each pot, and now I am going to plant these up and turn them into topiaries. So that's my plan with that. And the other one I may just plant up as in containers as not topiaries, but as a plant. So that's my goal there. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Come on back and we will have more fun out in the garden. All right. See you next time. Bye.